Strap in, babe. This is going to be a long one. And if death, cancer, trauma triggers you, this is not the video for you. So in April of 2019, my dad died. And then less than 2 months later, in May of 2019, my best friend died. And then 2 years later, in May of 2021, my mom died. And there was so many things that happened in between that. And if there's time in this video, I will do a timeline rundown. Now, both of my parents died of cancer. My dad had lung cancer. They gave him 6 months, and it was literally 6 months basically to the day from diagnosis to death. My best friend, which I probably won't talk about too much as far as his stuff goes, he had a lot of trauma from being in the Marines and PTSD, but he did die of an overdose. There's a lot more to that story. I doubt I'll go into the depth of all of that, but I'll talk a little bit about it. Now, my mom had ovarian cancer, and she was diagnosed. Sorry, I had to do some math. She was diagnosed in 2013. It was stage 3 ovarian cancer, but very quickly spread to stage 4. Now, my mom's death affected me a lot more than my dad's because I lived with my mom. I was my mom's full-time caretaker for 8 years. Every appointment, every different hospital we went to, every ambulance ride, every emergency stay, every surgery, every chemo treatment, every radiation, every follow-up, dealing with the colostomy bag. I was there for all of it. I was there in the middle of the night when she'd be puking her guts out and she would be hysterically crying because she felt like she was going to die, literally. And she didn't want to die alone. So I slept in the hallway in front of the bathroom so she could see me. So if she died, she wouldn't die alone. Okay. I'm telling you, every day, 24 hours a day, I took care of my mom. So her death was a lot more difficult to deal with. Adjusting to life without her was very hard. Just dealing with the home. It was already my house. I've been paying the mortgage on it for 5 or 6 years. I'm on the deed and everything. I own it. It's my property. But just living life without her and adjusting to the household without her. And then oh my God. So we paid all of our bills out of her fucking bank account. I deposited money every week into her bank account because auto pay was on her bank account, right? But before she went into the hospital last time before she died, literally, she went in on a Friday and she was like, hey, Monday morning, we just need to go to the bank and get you on my account in case something happens. Guess what? She never fucking came out of the hospital and something fucking happened. And so I wasn't on her bank account and Bank of America fucking closed her account a week after she died. Mortgage was fucking due. There was $7,500 in her bank account at the time she died. And $5,500 that was my cash. I paid all the bills. It was just paid out of her account. And it was such a process to get all that money back. Thankfully, well, not thankfully, my sister-in-law had lost her aunt and was dealing with the exact same process that I was, just 2 weeks ahead of me. And so she knew the process to get the money out of the bank account. I had to wait 90 days to get that money back, though. It was an absolute nightmare. But it's just it's the little things. I remember I switched the cat litter. I started buying a different brand than my mom bought. And it was I felt guilty about it because I fucking hated that brand. It came in a cardboard box that was super hard for me to open with my nails. So I switched to one that was easier and I felt guilty. And then I remember the first time I had to buy garbage bags because we had gone to Costco and bought 2 Costco boxes. And I was years later, I finally needed a new one because I'm one person. And it's just the littlest random things or seeing a new store or a new business pop up in town. And I'm oh, and I literally am reaching for my phone to call and text my mom. And I'm oh, no, wait, never mind. Probably the hardest thing though, after my mom's death was the dreams. I dreamt my mom was alive every single night for years. She was alive in my dreams. And that split second of waking up, I'd forget that she was dead. It's a millisecond of just forgetting. And there was one dream I had, I don't know when, it wasn't that recent, but it was maybe a couple years ago. In my dream, she was okay, I've been dead long enough. I'm back. And then trying to adjust to life with how I've changed everything in the household and how I do things now. She's okay, I've been dead long enough. It's time for me to come back. And then the dream was her noticing all the things I had changed. And when I woke up, it wasn't just she was alive in my dream as she had died and came back to life. That kind of shit really it was every morning I'd wake up fucking crying. Now, not as often. I still have them, but they aren't daily by any means. Also, something my mom did for me, which if you follow me on TikTok around the holidays, you'll see, while she was in the hospital dying, she bought me Christmas gifts for the next 10 years. Our tradition was she always got me something Sock Monkey every year. And it was kind of like a game to her to find something super creative and try not to buy me repeats of stuff. So she bought me 10 presents, told me just to open them whenever I want. Now my mom died in the hospital. She was in the hospital on my birthday, so I ended up having my best friend come over. She opened them all up, and I told her pick one out that was birthday appropriate, which good on her. She picked out a perfect one. And now, years later, I only have like 4 left. As I opened one on my birthday, and then obviously the first Christmas she was gone, and it's just like they're going by so fast. And anyways, if you scroll through December on my TikTok, you'll see the Sock Monkey gifts. And I apologize, this is kind of all over the place. I didn't write out a plan for this audio. Now, my mom's death affected me so much more deeply because she was my best friend, even though like we fought horribly. Like, your mother's your biggest fucking op sometimes. Like, sometimes your mom's your biggest hater, but also your best friend. Very dynamic type of relationship. Now, my dad's death obviously affected me, but I didn't live with my dad. I didn't take care of my dad. My dad lived in a different city hours away, so I did go and see him multiple times a week, but it was, I wasn't there 24 hours a day. And I love my dad. I had a great relationship with my dad. Just total daddy's girl, daddy's princess, everything, which is why I do not have daddy issues. It's probably why I am so dominant in my life in everything, because I was treated appropriately by my father. But I mean, it affected me and I was sad. Yeah. But like my mom had already been sick for years by the time my dad died. So when we got, we knew he was going to die. It was, we had warning and it was easier. My best friend's death though, that shit fucked me up. Oh, fuck. And mind you, my best friend died less than 2 months after my dad. And literally the night my dad died, I broke up with my boyfriend. I literally had to call the cops because he would not leave. And then my best friend, who lived in a different city, he drove all the way to my house with my favorite pizza that only is like from a place where he lives. And he came out here. And then less than 2 months later, he died. He had been struggling with a lot of things, PTSD from the Marines and, addiction and stuff. And we had tried to get him help. I'm not going to go too much into that. But this dude was my best friend since high school. Like, and when he came back from the Marines, there was not a day we didn't talk. If I wasn't with him, he at least called or texted me every single day. He was a talk on the phone. He was a daily type of friend. If you didn't talk to him for a day, it was like, are you mad at me? What's wrong? It was day in and day out, all day, every day. This was my best friend. We even traveled together, like across the country, traveled together. Like, this was my best fucking friend. And I can still remember, no, there was 3 of us, right? Friend A and friend B. Friend B is the one that died. Friend A, I actually dated in high school, but very briefly, and we were all like friends. The boys were friends since childhood. I came in during high school. So it was like the 3 of us were friends, and I was best friends with both of them, but the one that died, I was, daily friend. And I remember sitting on the couch and I got a call from the first friend, and I can still to this day remember the exact tone, screech, and like horror in his voice and telling me that our friend died. I can still fucking remember it. Like, it is so clear in my mind. And for it to happen so close to my dad's, like, I had just gone to my dad's funeral, and then we did a belated birthday lunch for me, and then like a week and a half after I saw him for a belated lunch, he was gone. He was gone. And I have some absolutely fond memories of him. And we used to make this recipe, right? We used to make these shrimp tacos. And we had made it so many times together that we just knew it by heart. And one of the last times we made it, it was the year before he died. It was months before he died. The last time we made it, we went to the store, we got all the ingredients, and we got back to the house. And it wasn't a recipe where I was like, oh, I'm going to do the shrimp, you do the onions, or you do the tortillas, and I'm going to do this. Like, we never each had designated roles. We just knew what needed to be done and did it, but we kind of delegated which. But this last time we made it, we went to the store, got all the ingredients, came back to the house, and we just started making it. We made the full recipe. We ate our plate of tacos, and then we looked up, and I was like, Dude, we haven't spoken in the last like hour. We didn't speak. We didn't say who was going to do what. We had made it so many times and we're in such like this fluid state of motion. It was like we were such in sync making this recipe that we didn't even have to speak while making it. We didn't say who was going to do what. We just made the recipe, didn't miss a beat, and we finished the plate of tacos and we're like, holy shit, we haven't spoken. Now, the anniversary of his death is next week, and on the day I filmed this Get Ready With Me, I had the ingredients to make it, so I was like, fuck it, I'll make it. It's been years since I made it. I made it one time after he died, and I haven't made it since, and I just so had happened to have the ingredients for it, and I made it this day, and it was wrong. It was wrong. I fucked it up somehow. There was something missing. I had all the ingredients, but it had been so long since I made it that somehow I fucked it up, and it like really upset me because this was a recipe I knew like the back of my hand. We didn't even have to speak to make it. And now it's been so long that since I made it that I did something wrong. And like, dude, it really upset me. And this year more so than others, I'm feeling these death anniversaries heavier than ever because this is the first year I'm dealing with all this not on antidepressants. I stopped my antidepressants fall of 2024. So it's been like 6-7 months, maybe 7 months since maybe 8 months, I don't know, since I stopped taking my antidepressants. So I feel like this year they're hitting me way fucking harder than they should, considering the length of time that has passed since these deaths. Jump scare, I'm sorry. I want to talk about something I saw a long time ago. So this is a recreation of a meme I had seen about like dealing with grief and stuff, and I want to explain it because I'm not one of those people that like words of affirmation really do anything for me, or like quotes. That shit doesn't work for me. But for some reason, this meme and this explanation really hit home, and I've never forgotten it. And when I think I'm like I shouldn't be grieving the way I'm grieving, I think of this. So the box is your emotions, okay? The button is your grief. That black button on the left-hand side is your grief. The red ball is like it being at the forefront of your mind. And at first, when you're grieving in whatever situation, the ball has nowhere to go. It's always pressing the button. It has no space to move around. No matter where it moves, it will be always touching the button of grief, okay? Your grief, it's pounding on that button. It has nowhere to go. But over time, like they say, time heals all wounds, the ball gets smaller. The button of grief, though, doesn't change. The size of your grief, the depth of your grief doesn't change. The button of grief, the size never decreases. But the ability of where it's at the forefront of your mind, it gets smaller. The ball has a little bit more room to bounce around now. It's not necessarily pressing on the grief button 100% of the time. It's a big ball, though. It's going to press it a lot of the time. But again, over time, the ball gets smaller. But your grief never changes. The amount of grief and loss and heartbreak you feel, that black button never changes. But the ball has more chance to move around now. It's much smaller. It's not going to be pressing the button every single day 100% of the time. It has more room to bounce around, okay? And once again, time heals all wounds. The button of grief and the depth of your grief and your heartbreak, that size never changes. But the ball has so much more space to bounce around. It still exists. It's just not slamming the button 100% of the time, but it's going to hit it eventually. It's going to hit it eventually. And lately, I feel like that red ball has just been ping-ponging from the button to the wall and back to the button lately. I feel like it's just been ping-ponging back and fucking forth. I don't know why this meme has ever stuck out to me and why I remember it so much, but like this thing also thank you for my crude drawing. I made it in like 2 minutes in PixArt. It's helped me when I'm like, why the fuck am I still feeling like this years later? And I don't know if it's because I'm not on my antidepressants and like I remember all these things, right? But like lately I'll be doing something or literally nothing, and I'll get this like flash of a memory. And it's not something I've forgotten. It's just not something that's at the forefront of my mind. And I remember it so in depth, like what I was wearing one day when I went to the hospital to visit my mom, and what the procedure was for, COVID, and what she wanted me to bring her from home, and like what I was wearing when I got the phone call that my best friend died. You know what I mean? Like I remember those things, but not in the detail of which these memories are flashing to me. And I don't know if it has to do with not being on antidepressants, but like it's just been pounding my brain and coming over me like a wave of emotion. And I feel like I just been like frozen in these memories. It's been a little overwhelming because again, April is my dad's death anniversary, and then it's my birthday, and then it's Mother's Day, and then it's the anniversary of my mom's death, which by the way is the day that I'm posting this, May 23rd. And then the end of the month is my best friend's. It's like I just get fucking bombarded by all this shit in these months. And my birthday video, little cringe. I get it. It was a little cringe. I was overcompensating. Truthfully, though, by like May 12th or 13th, I've forgotten that it's quote unquote my birthday month, unless I'm working on like captions to write for social media. Um, but it's just a bombardment of all of these things. And next year, my birthday is on Mother's Day, and it's just like, oh my God. It's, I don't know, maybe next year it'll get easier. I don't fucking know. Now, I talked in the beginning about timeline, but I actually want to take you guys through the exact timeline of all the shit that happened from like 2019 to 2023. Since 2023, I'm fine. I'm having a good time. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm good. Okay. But let me break this down for you. April 2019, my dad dies. End of April, we have his funeral. And it's my birthday. And then the last time I saw my best friend, and then my best friend dies. And then it's his funeral. And then like a month or two after his funeral, a cat I had had forever, I had to put down. And then like 2 months after that, my mom goes in for the emergency surgery to get her colostomy bag. Okay. And then we're dealing with that. We got a nice flow going. And then it's fucking New Year's going into 2020. And I catastrophically injure my fucking knee. And I mean, like, I had a full grade 3 tear of my ACL, completely gone. Partially tore my quad muscle, microfractures on my tibia, and I sprained my Achilles. I had to wait to do physical therapy because I literally couldn't fucking walk. Physical therapy was supposed to start mid-March 2020. Obviously, it couldn't go. Get shut down from freaking COVID. I just learned to live without an ACL, which meant I was on crutches for way longer than I should have been because I was never able to do physical therapy. Going through life 2020, obviously, and then dealing with all of like the procedures at the cancer centers for, COVID restrictions. That was so freaking stressful. The beginning of 2021, a different best friend moves in with me with her freaking baby at the worst time possible because my mom was starting this new, very intense regimen for an autoimmune or immunotherapy. And it was 30 days and it was 7 appointments Monday through Friday, which meant twice a week. We were there twice a day. And they couldn't do the appointments back to back. So we were there in the first thing in the morning and at night, which meant we sat in traffic, like rush hour traffic, twice a day, morning and night. Best friend leaves. Less than a month later, my mom dies. And also, she moved in at the most inconvenient time possible, but I love her and was willing to help. And also the immunotherapy that was supposed to like give my mom more time, the side effects of that is what ended up killing her. And I mean, yeah, her cancer killed her, but like that also happened. So my mom dies dealing with all that, all the legal stuff going through that. Couple months go by. Another cat I had had forever has to be put down. That happened in like the end of 2021 going into 2022. 2022 was okay for a while. Fall comes around, I get a fucking 4-day VIP passes to a music festival that is not where I live, so I had to travel there, but I didn't have to pay for lodging because my friend lives there. 4-day VIP passes, help pay for parking, all the outfits and everything. 3 hours into being there, day fucking 1, I thought I dislocated my knee. It turns out I shredded my fucking meniscus. Like, on the same knee, which I already didn't have an ACL on. So while I'm waiting for surgery to correct all the shit wrong with my fucking knee, like 6 weeks after I injure my knee, I fall off a ledge in my house because I have like lofts and shit in my house and vaulted ceilings. I fall off a fucking ledge and I fracture my fucking back. Ugh. So my knee surgery was 2 weeks away and then it had to get extended out 3.5 months because I couldn't go through the knee surgery and deal with the physical therapy after having reconstructive knee surgery while I had a fractured back. And I fractured the transverse part of my spine. I don't know if you look at a spine, there's like the middle part and the little thingies that stick on either side. I fractured 3 of the thingies on the left side at the very bottom of my spine. medical terms, I could look it up. I'm not going to. Now, the only good thing that happened during this time was right after I injured my knee. My Instagram started taking off after I was rebuilding it, and it really sent a lot of people to my sites, started making the amount of money I thought I should have been making, and since then, my income has never decreased. I mean, I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but like, that was the only good thing that happened, and it's never gone down since then. It's doubled since then, so I'm I'm not mad about that. But this was a long-winded conversation about all that stuff. So when I say I'm kind of like in my feels about all the deaths, that I had a really hard couple of years. I had a really, really hard couple of years, and like, man, going through surgery without your mom is just like, fuck, dude. Like, it sucked. I had to have an aunt come in from out of town to stay with me, and she couldn't be with me 24 hours a day, and it was really fucking hard, dude. And, not being on antidepressants this year really, I don't remember feeling this, like, getting these, like, waves of memories last year. And I'm like, it's been years since they all died. Why am I still feeling like this? Like, the appropriate amount of time for grief has passed. You know what I mean? Like, why am I being a baby about this? I'm an adult. I have a mortgage. I pay my own bills. Like, I shouldn't be my emotions shouldn't be dictating my day, but like, it's just, this year's just been fucking different. It's been different, and it's been harder this year. So just know, like, if you're going through grief or loss, I get it. I feel it. I understand it. And I hope you can refer back to the graphics I shared. I hope you understand my explanation of it. I don't know when I had to see it like after my dad or my best friend died. Um, I don't know why that thing has stuck with me, but when I'm like, why am I feeling this way? It's been so long. It shouldn't be this hard, this far out from when it actually happened. I kind of think back to that. And again, I'm not like, words of affirmation and poems and quotes, like that shit means nothing to me. I could care less about that. But that thing has just, it's ingrained in my brain. And I'm like, okay, I'm just, the buttons being pressed. I'm allowed to feel, because the amount of grief and heartbreak I have hasn't changed. The button's just not always being pressed. The button's not always being pressed, but sometimes it is. And it still hurts just as much. And time heals all wounds, and it makes that stupid red ball smaller, but it doesn't. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Hold on. Sorry, I had to collect myself for a moment. Anyways, thanks for watching this long-winded thing. Also, if you've seen in my previous videos talking about makeup, I use like cheap drugstore makeup. I did, however, run out of my Urban Decay setting spray, so I got that Huda Beauty one. I was willing to spend the money on it from the reviews I seen. Oh my god. I like cheap makeup products, but I will spend money on that. That setting spray is phenomenal. Also, the curling iron I used in this video, it like keeps my hair curled for days, and I use like a third of the hairspray that I would use in my other curling iron that's like actually expensive. That one is like $20 from freaking Walmart, and I got it in high school and it still works. Are you kidding me? It's fantastic. Anyway, so this is the look for today. I hope you guys, shit, if you're still here, thank you. It's a long video. I need the watch hours. Thanks for sticking around, and as always, please follow me on all my other social medias and my sites if you choose to.